You are live.
I'll be live.
So, good morning.
Morning.
Good afternoon. Is it good afternoon or good
It is
morning?
like, yeah, it's midday-ish.
So, how is everybody? Something came to mind just then, and I've just gone out my head.
Gone?
Yeah, we're still not getting a great. There's a beautiful backdrop behind us, and because of these laptop cameras, they haven't got the dynamic range to pick it up. So, who is in? Good morning. Say hello.
I'm in.
Michelle's here. Michelle's here. So if we get some questions rolling, a little Q&A, if you've got any questions you'd like to ask us, where are we? I've got a few questions I wanted to ask you. And I'm feeling ever so lazy because we've been in a hotel for 4 days, 3 or 4 days. And I plan to do so much while we're here, but all we've been doing, we're not lazy. All we're doing is editing.
Yeah, busy and
just
planning.
editing and editing and editing. And did you enjoy the I Spy? Has anybody been watching the I Spy? See, some people have been getting involved with it and putting up the names.
Yeah,
I think Ricky even found about 4 Tory gates. I think it's amazing. So that was a bit of fun. I mean, just breaking up the long drives. Let's get some people in. Do a little sound check.
Yes, make sure that we've got.
Say hello if you're watching. So love to have you announce that you're in rather than just lurking.
We've got a few questions that we had that people posed earlier that we can ask.
Okay, yeah. You've got those written down somewhere?
I've got them written down,
okay.
Yeah, so we can do, yeah.
So anything to get me going, Michelle? The room we're in today, I've got a pinball machine, a fruit slot machine over there. It's called Monster Hunter. So that gives it maybe a
little clue.
A clue as to where
what we're in.
Approximate location. So it's been amazing, this trip.
It has.
We've got about a week, just over a week left, and still a little longer than a week actually. We've probably got almost 2 weeks, but we've got a lot to. Yeah, it's gone so quickly. Yeah. It has gone so quickly. And one of the things. So who is that? Is that Ben?
Hi, Ben.
G'day, Ben. So usual story, Ben. We've been the editing. I mean, Michelle curses me for doing too much filming, and if you can imagine, we're doing sort of 3, 4, sometimes even 5 or 6 days sleeping in the car, and then we're stopping a hotel.
Thank you, Ben. Audio and video, that's fine.
Beautiful, thank you, mate. So then we're stopping a hotel, and all we seem to get to do is, sort out the files, check the sound quality, and then just do editing. So when we stop in a town, we're not really getting to see the town.
No, because we've done 4 or 5 days, as you say, sleeping in the car, but then filming and experiencing.
Yeah, and the last 2 weeks have been particularly full on because we had a very interesting stop in a hotel, which feature in a later video. I won't say about that just now, but and then we had a huge. It wasn't as relaxing as we'd hoped. It was actually a little bit tiring, and then we had a sort of 5-day drive. And Michelle and I have been thinking for a little while. We want to come back to Fukuoka, one of our favorite cities. So a little sort of, what's the word? Reveal. We are in Fukuoka. We're in Fukuoka. We made it all the way down to the southern tip of Honshu, crossed over. Well, no, I didn't cross over the bridge. That's another story.
That's another story. You got to wait for
that. I won't say about that. Because that might appear in a video. But we're so behind again. Yeah. We're so behind again, and it's so frustrating because we've had, 4 or so days in this hotel, which is a beautiful hotel. I might give you a little show round in a moment of just full on editing, and we're still not really catching up. So I don't know. I think we're the crappiest YouTubers.
Hello, Dax. Good to see you.
G'day, Dax. How are you, mate? I'm just explaining, Dax, and you probably heard it anyway. We're in Fukuoka. It's a beautiful city. Really is a lovely city. What I did find different though, because we've driven into Fukuoka, we're not actually.
Last time we didn't.
No, we never drove in Fukuoka.
No.
The area of Fukuoka Michelle and I really like is the central sort of area of Fukuoka, which is kind of unusual for us in city-wise. You tend to prefer to be out in the country, but outside the center of Fukuoka, it's quite plain. It's quite same, you know, big shopping precincts and arcades and things. So as we drove into Fukuoka, we're like, oh, okay, this wasn't like pulling at the heartstrings and what have you. But when we got in right into the center, it's tiny little core. Hakata and Tenjin, which we can walk to from our hotel. When we walked up there 3 or 4 times in the last few days.
Home turf to us, though, isn't it?
It is like home turf. That feels really comfortable and homely for the both of us, because we know the shops, we know the places, we know all the stores. Although again, same old story. A lot of places have gone. Went back to see. Actually, save that for the video. We'll save that for the video. But we're not. I had plans to do loads and loads of filming in Fukuoka, and I said to Michelle, look, if we've driven all this way, it's cost us an absolute fortune getting here. We must make a lot of content here, but all we're doing is editing, so we're probably not going to get a lot done in Fukuoka. But it's beautiful. I highly recommend it. If I was coming to Japan as a fresh tourist, I'd come into the central part of here over most of the other cities. Although people want to see Osaka and Tokyo.
It's a good place to actually.
Yeah, we're different travelers.
Yeah. Yes.
So, what were the questions, Michelle? Roll some questions. Dax is in. Ben's in.
Yes. These aren't from the live stream, but these are from ones that people have dropped in the comments before. So I've sort of made a little list of them to do. So
I'm sorry, this is backlit. There's actually, I don't know if there's any way I can make it visible, but there's this. Okay, let's see if I can. Before Michelle asks the questions, have a look out here. Look at that. Look at my view. Beautiful, isn't it? And we're paying a bit of a premium for this hotel. Actually, it's not as good value as. Yes, it is a love hotel. But look, what do we get for a love hotel? I'm telling you, there's a good reason to come to these places. Look, if I go to a regular hotel, we're going to get a tiny little hotel, maybe a tiny little bathroom. I mean, look at this place. It's huge, right? We've got that beautiful view, which you cannot see. Let me just have a little look. Is that clear? So we've got that beautiful view. We're seeing the ocean liners coming in and out. We've got the massage chair. I might jump in the massage chair later on, let you have a little look at that. We've got a fruit machine. I kid you not. I turn it on. Monster fruit machine. Let's see if we win. Now, looks like, look, I don't know. I might have won a fortune.
Who knows?
So we've got a fruit machine. We got a huge. God, I'm carrying a laptop around, guys. Give me a break.
Give me a thumbs up for that.
We got a huge bathroom, a lobby area. Oh, look at this. Come in here. 2 basins, huge jacuzzi bath. But I won't say that this one's cheap. This one's not as cheap because it's really central.
That's you can do that because you're a couple. I've heard that solo people like me will be denied a reservation.
No, you reserve online, Dax. They don't care.
No.
So you do the reservations online just through Agoda or Booking, the same way everyone else does it. You just rock up. They're not bothered. No. They're not bothered.
No, it's per room, isn't it? I think
yeah.
Each room is for 2 people, so you might get 2 breakfasts.
Now, if you have a business hotel, you're just going to get a bed and a bathroom if you're lucky.
Yeah.
You're not going to get this, and you're going to be paying the same sort of fees. So we just
Some water.
oh, and free bread, and well, it's not free. Come on, let's be honest. Nothing's free. Breakfast delivered at 11 o'clock in the morning, 10 o'clock. Michelle and I have been getting it at 10:30.
Yeah, it's all good, isn't it?
Yeah, talk. I just choked.
You just choked. That's not good. Anybody else in here lurking? Have you not said hello?
Too dry. I don't drink enough water. Michelle's always telling me off. And while I'm talking to you and walking around, it's quite hot in here today.
I think the sun's been blaring.
Yeah, because we've got all the windows open to let maximum light in. Yeah. It's still 31 degrees.
No, it's just not.
It's still like soup out there. Even when we go for a walk, it's too hot. I said to Michelle, just
32 today.
32. 32 and humidity like you just won't believe. So that's a little bit of a pain, but you know, such is life.
Can't get over that.
We can't grumble. Look at where we are in beautiful Japan. We're in Fukuoka. We've managed to see so many beautiful places. I wondered what you guys thought about the I Spy driving sort of, you know, I had a little chat with a friend about this and said, you know, wonder if we just played a game while we did a bit of driving. Now we filmed 2 or 3 of those episodes just to sort of like fill out, and I thought, you know, worst case scenario, we can just put the driving videos up with a bit of music. But I thought the I Spy, you know, playing a bit of a game, looking for Tory gates and K cars, and it kind of brings the episodes to life.
Makes us look out for things as well, doesn't it?
Yeah.
So Mona's asked there's a couple of questions here. She's not in, but she maybe will come in or drop in later.
Oh, dear Mona. Yeah, Mona's one of our long-term subscribers, always asking great questions. Yeah. Go on then.
So what's the most traditional dish or meal you've had so far?
Well, they're all traditional because I'm glad I don't know these questions as you're putting them to me, Michelle, because it's good to sort of be on the court on the cusp. All the meals I think we've been having, Mona, are traditional in the Japanese sense. We're trying to eat as best we can Japanese dishes every day. I mean, we don't go, it's not one of those countries where I sometimes just want to go for a pizza, you know. This is one of those countries where every meal is a delight. Everything is different to what we had. Now, even if you've had ramen noodles overseas, you haven't. It's a little bit like when you have Chinese food in China compared to going down the Chinese in the country you're in, and it's all sort of
they adapt it for where you are.
Yeah, I want to say bastardized for the local palate. Here, the food is very traditional. So apart from, and I've got a caveat in my mind, because actually in Fukuoka we found this. If you ever go for Indian food in Japan, then that's
because
it's
not
super
Japanese,
popular here. But it's super popular.
True,
it's almost like their national dish. Curry noodles is almost a national dish. Yeah. We haven't really had any curry. I don't think I've had a curry dish. Can't remember having a curry dish. No. So I think a meal that stands out to me at the moment is twofold. When we met our dear friend Max in Niigata, we went. I chose the hotel. I chose the restaurant by mistake.
You did.
But Max wanted to take us out to Soba Noodles, and we went to one place, and it was overbooked, and so about a few kilometers from there, I saw another Soba noodle place, and we went into that, and it was absolutely delicious. And that I think we filmed some of that, so that'll be coming up in an upcoming.
That's probably the best one we've had.
Yeah, really traditional, because Soba noodles. Soba are, I think, inherently Japanese. You know, to have a noodle that's served cold and then you're dipping it in a flavored sauce, to have the soba water, to have all the tempura fried, that was delicious. And I think also closely followed to that, one of the most traditional meals we've had is again with our dear friend Max. And I will link Max's channel, because I think you should get across and check out what Max is up to. He's sharing all his Japanese recipes. pop a link down in the comments, was the gyoza, Max's gyoza.
Yes,
so
yes.
Max actually cooked us fresh gyoza. And a little bit of footage of that coming up in an episode shortly. Delicious. Aside from that, every ramen, every sushi dish that we've had has been delicious and authentic. I hope that answers the question. Probably way too much.
And Lucky Sue said, do you try a lot of their matcha product?
Lucky Sue.
Yeah, Lucky Sue 246.
Well, luckily, Sue, I can't stand matcha. I just can't get my head around it, and I've tried. I can eat almost anything. I can eat almost any food. I've had, chicken's anuses. I've had, all sorts of the most bizarre foods in the world. I just don't get matcha. To me, it's like sucking a dry tea bag. It's just like it. The concept of matcha is basically tea, good quality tea sometimes. And is it good quality tea? I suspect most of it's crud. I imagine, because there's so much matcha product around, that most of it is like wasabi in the West, where it's not actually wasabi. If you go to a sushi restaurant almost anywhere in the world, you're not getting wasabi. You're probably getting something green colored that's got a little bit of there's something they use in fake wasabi, and you're getting fake wasabi, whereas fresh wasabi has to be grated immediately, and it loses its pungency in a very short time by oxidization. So generally, you're not getting wasabi in those little pouches that you have served with sushi. And I think most of the matcha served around the world, matcha ice cream, matcha donuts, matcha tea, matcha bloody chewing gum, it's rarely ever decent quality matcha. And even when I've had good quality, you're taking basically green tea, grinding it to a powder, and then eating the powder. And if you want to know what that tastes like, if you're not a matcha, just break open a tea bag and suck on the tea leaves. It's a very astringent, earthy, sort of grassy taste that just doesn't do it for me. And so no, I don't like it. And I'll keep trying. I keep bashing away at matcha occasionally. I don't know. I go and buy matcha stuff wait.
Ben says I like matcha tea.
Talking to you.
Sorry.
She's in a world of her own. I say I go and buy matcha stuff and try it all the time.
Yeah, I mean, he does.
It's not like I'm averse to matcha. I keep somebody say, this is the best matcha. Matcha toenail clippings. Oh, they're the best. And you think, oh, okay, must be something special about this. And so I go and try it, and it's bloody matcha again. It's
sometimes you see something and you don't know it's matcha, but it looks green, and you think, oh, that's pretty. It could be this.
No, here I always think it's matcha.
Yeah, we always think it's matcha.
In other parts of Asia, I almost always think it's pandan, yes. And it is, and it's generally delicious. Yeah. So
matchas, we're not a fan of matcha.
So did I say I didn't like matcha that much? Yeah. What do you think? Do you think perhaps I'm a closet matcha fan? Maybe not.
Maybe. Do you want another question?
Put some questions here. Yeah. Live ones in the chat as well, please. Michelle will. Well, I can see them here, but I probably can't read them from where I am. So back to where we are. We are in Fukuoka. We've got a few more days left here, and then we've really got to start heading back. The cars, the rental of the cars coming towards an end, and then it's working out our next plans. Now, I am thinking, and I've been pestered by YouTube for a long time now to set up our members. I think we get so few views. I wondered whether the members thing was a thing they were sort of like holding back on. So we have set up our members, which you needn't join, by the way. I'm not advocating the membership, but I have promised I will do a few sort of like member specific things. So I probably do a little live after this, a members live, and just talk about a few things I wouldn't necessarily talk about in an open forum like this. So please excuse me, I'm just dabbling with it. Yep. Don't know what we're doing. it's not for the want of anything, but just trying to work out how the YouTube algorithm is going. Everybody's having problems with it, but we're not too bothered. We're happy. Yeah. We're happy. Yeah.
So Ben says, I had to mute for a second. How dare you, Ben? While I was watching another video on YouTube. Are you in another love hotel?
Yes. If you didn't see, go back about 5 minutes, Ben, and you'll see a little tour. Little tour.
Hello, Dwayne. Good to see you in.
Good day, Dwayne. No food today in the thing. We were going to actually do this while our breakfast was being delivered this morning, but often just around that time the cleaning staff rock up as well, and it would have been really awkward to have them, because I usually clear off out when they come, so that would have been could have been mid live stream, so sorry about that.
So Ben said, yes, I did see that you were doing a quick room tour. I'll look back afterwards.
Yeah. So it is a love hotel. It's a little more expensive, Ben. I was saying to people just now, it's fairly central to Fukuoka. It's actually a little overpriced, I think, so, yeah. But it's okay. It's okay. We've got a beautiful view, and it's about
bubbles, which we don't.
It's about double the price of most of the other hotels we've been in. And it's a great location, and it's got great views, and the rooms are great. The food is a bit average, but
yes, it is tastefully appointed, Ben. You have to watch that room tour that he gave you.
Yeah. So other questions then, Michelle?
Okay then. Best and worst things about living in a van. What would you do differently van camping?
It's not really van camping. I think we're kind of car camping. It was a needs must. Go on.
Yeah, I mean, it's worked. It's been too hot. That's the biggest thing. I think if it hadn't been as hot, we actually wouldn't have had an issue with the setup we've got for the amount of days that we've got.
No, because imagine we've been from 42 degrees to minimum 31 degrees the whole journey, and it doesn't drop at night, so it's really hard.
So you haven't been able to spread out outside, haven't you?
No, I bitch and moaned about this, so I don't want to go on about it too much. I think a lot of it's circumstances. I definitely don't now see the joy of the tiny camping car. I think that's been knocked out of my head. There's no, I mean, it's a bit of fun, but to do it over any extended period of time is a madness.
And for us, it was fun, but because we had a beginning and an end date, and it wasn't that long a period. So
it was 2 months.
No, but that's only mainly because it was hot.
Yeah,
it was the heat that was killing us with regard to
Yeah, we couldn't just get outside, and because there's very little shaded parking anywhere. In Japan, I don't know what that's about, but
if it were, there'd been more like when we were camping in the tent.
Yeah,
this is bigger than the tent, and we've got chairs to sit inside, and it works that way. But it's just we couldn't expand outside.
Yeah, so that was hard. And when you see people in a camper van, like a proper camping van that may have air conditioning, and not all of them do actually, but even those are quite small in Japan. That makes me quite envious, and I think to myself, that's what I would have preferred to do. It might have been better to do sort of 2 weeks in a camping van for a similar price to, although camping van was really expensive. That was crazy expensive. Yes. So we'll see.
Dwayne asks, where can you legally pitch a tent in Japan?
Technically, I think you can wild camp in Japan in most places, but there are places that they said I don't know if there's a specific law that says that says you can camp, but they're very tolerant of camping in public areas.
I think you said that camping, you can pitch a tent and take it down. I don't think you can.
Yeah, you can't just rock up into a park somewhere.
But if you're moving on, I don't think they'll.
No, and so they're very tolerant of wild camping in Japan. So it's kind of. Sorry, Michelle. I think since I took it around.
It's all right.
It's mirrored, so when I keep trying to turn it.
I do that. I move
that way, and
so we are. As far as I'm aware.
What was Dwayne's? Read the comment to me again.
This is, where can you legally pitch a tent in Japan?
Legally, I don't know. No. Obviously, in any campsite. But oh, I know what it is. I'm just going to turn that way a bit. It feels kind of, I'm turning to see me on this side. I'm having to turn the camera that way. It's kind of weird. But I did check, and it is mainly because I think it's so you can see things the right way round. So yeah, mirrored is a necessary evil, but it feels when I put that hand up goes up. It's like so annoying. So legally, almost I don't know. Legally, probably only camping sites, and but we see people camping in public parks, and not like homeless camping, but actually camping in public parks. And I think you can stop in a camping van if you're fairly, if you don't start getting your chairs and tables out.
But the Michinoekis, you can stop it overnight. And
they're all.
If you've got a vehicle, and I think even people we've seen the bikes. That cyclist had to just put his tent up there.
So there are these places called Michinoekis, and I think they're sort of government funded stopping areas, and they're really well set up for bathrooms and facilities and shops, and they're all over the place. So they're quite easy. Was there another question?
Yeah, Ben has a question. When are you doing another tour of Australia? I love far north Queensland. Still more to explore in far north Queensland myself.
I don't know, Ben. Far north Queensland doesn't hold the same appeal to me that it does to you. I lived in Queensland for quite a number of years, and I'm not. I know you've been to Australia quite a few times, but I think you've mainly gone. Am I right that you've always gone to far north Queensland? Have you been to Tasmania or Victoria or Perth? I'm not sure, Ben. I don't think you have, and please don't let me get if I've got that wrong. But from when I remember, so
always far north Queensland. Yeah. I need hot and humid. Sorry.
Right, and humid. There's I've been to far north Queensland as far as we've been to Catherine and along that coast, not all the way. It's very close to Darwin. And for me, my favourite parts still remain, and having been to all of the regions, I still think southern central Queensland and Western Australia have got more temperate, I mean, for example, I think I've said to you before in live streams, we lived for quite a number of years in Noosa, in the Sunshine Coast. Noosa, the humidity never got that hot, and it was generally about 82 degrees Fahrenheit, 28 degrees Celsius most of the year. So it didn't fluctuate. So you never really had to put long trousers on. You never really got too hot that it was unbearable. So it had that sort of what I call the Goldilocks temperature, but that's really southern Queensland. And I would rather be in that sort of environment, and there's a whole swathe of Australia that's like that. So one day, mate, I'll go back up there and give it a try.
We've talked about doing another
tour. We'll definitely give it a try
in the near future.
But I suspect you'd get equally as enthusiastic about Tasmania if you went there, or any other part of Australia. It's all beautiful. And when I don't know, if we do spend any substantial amount of time in Australia, it probably will be touring Australia. So yes, it will happen.
Dwayne says, did you ever go to New Zealand?
Yeah, we've been to New Zealand. I spent a lot of time. As always, we never go for a week. It's always for months. So we
consider living in New Zealand.
We did.
But it's a bit far.
Particularly like the Coromandel Peninsula in New Zealand. We've always found that was one of our favourite parts of New Zealand. Very beautiful. And again, the weather's a little warmer than the south.
So a question from Mona. Are there any festivals or markets you'd like to visit?
We've
seen a few festivals, haven't we?
Well, I really like sakura time in Japan,
Yes.
so that's one time I think I'd like to come back to Japan and spend a bit of time in sakura in springtime. Um, Markets, I don't know. I'm not.
We like stumbling upon the
Yeah,
local
I prefer
markets.
smaller markets.
Yeah,
So
yeah,
yeah,
yeah. So that's that one. The Ben's laughing at my a bit far away comment about New Zealand. He says too far away from Australia. Huh? It is far away from Australia.
it's not.
It's far away from everywhere.
When we spent quite a bit of time in New Zealand. And we considered actually living there at one time. Seriously, I'm not just like, oh, I'd like to live in New Zealand, but literally considered living in New Zealand. But the more of our Kiwi friends that we talked to were sort of, their kids were all trying to leave New Zealand. You know, every child we knew, every family we knew that lived there, the kids were trying to leave New Zealand because they all felt it was just too far. I mean, it's Australia is quite isolated in many ways, but the New Zealanders are a long way from absolutely everything. So I think once you get to a certain age, you know, up above sort of in your 40s and above, you can tolerate that because you've sort of done the things you want to do in life. But with youngsters, that's why you'll meet a lot of Kiwis who travel. It just does feel a long way, and it also, everything that is attractive about New Zealand is in Australia, and Australia just seems a better option to me. So even though I think New Zealand's beautiful, it's just too far
Very
away.
beautiful. And as Ben says, considering the domestic flights, Australian flights are absurd between the different regions. 3 hours plus between Cairns and Brisbane, I think. Yeah. I mean, from Perth, from one side of Australia to Melbourne, it takes a long time, and driving
days of driving. So it's and nothing in between. So whereas New Zealand also, a lot of New Zealand felt very much, if you've ever driven any length in New Zealand, it felt a lot like the sort of Cotswolds and South Devon. It felt like a lot of it felt like England. So it wasn't giving any sort of like massively different vibe, apart from around Rotorua, I suppose. Rotorua, where you've got those sort of you know, the surface of the moon, where you've got all that sulfur smells and things, and some of the coastline's very pretty, and of course the Southern Island. I haven't been to the Southern Island, so to my shame, we never went there. But mainly because we were enjoying so much the northern side of the country, and also because both Michelle and I don't like cold places.
So Ben says, to be honest, that's why I haven't visited New Zealand yet. It's too far away. After getting to Oz, I just can't be bothered to fly again into New Zealand. But I will visit New Zealand one day. Interesting countryside.
Go to Perth next time, Ben. Give yourself a completely different experience. Go on the Perth side and go up to northern West Australia. It's very pretty. Northern West Australia. You probably find that equally as remarkable. And but don't forget to go down the further south towards the Margaret River area and just see that side. Definitely, if you ever get a chance. I know everything's a long way in Australia, so do try to go to Tasmania if you can.
The Benjamin Penny says, we just got back from Japan. Cool. There are no bins anywhere. How do you manage that when you're traveling? Little bin bags. The
same way the Japanese do, I think.
And convenies.
We stopped at a sort of. It wasn't actually a Michinoeki. I was going to say Michinoeki, but it was actually a like a reservoir stop.
Oh yes.
And we noticed they had really good sort of bins there, and cars just kept rocking up and they were taking out their sort of household rubbish, it seemed, and putting it in there. So you've just got to marvel. It's the same in South Korea, by the way. When you go to South Korea, we had the same sort of bizarre thing. You go and buy yourself a bottle of water to walk around the streets, and then you finish it, and you have to hold that bottle of water for another sort of hour and a half because you couldn't find, even in South Korea, it was hard to find a convenience store. And what it means is people really respect littering. They don't, in so much they do not litter. So it's you see litter more here now than you used to. But I think that's maybe a foreign influence. There's quite a lot of foreigners rocking up, and you're seeing some sort of habits forming here in Japan that weren't here before. And some of the driving habits are certainly not coming from the Japanese, cutting in and out of traffic, which never used to happen. Motorbikes sort of behaving quite badly. I see that happening. I won't say who the demographics are that are sort of bringing this here, but you can see it eating its way into the culture. So yeah, just respect it. There are no bins.
No.
I don't want bins. I don't want them to change that. I think it's a great thing. Just, stop consuming so much. And when you do consume stuff, you got to be responsible for it. Wouldn't it be beautiful if that was the same everywhere in the world? Yeah.
Mr. T said, nice to see positivity online. Thank you, Mr. T.
Thank you, Mr. T.
And Ben says, to be honest, Stephen, that's why I haven't gone to other states, regions in Australia, because the distance are too far. And by the time I'm done with Far North Queensland for the year, I really don't have the appetite to go elsewhere in Oz. Not just because of the weather. No,
yeah, I think we all have a tendency to do that. That sort of, you like, it's like us and Fukuoka, Ben. I like Fukuoka. There'll be a lot of people that won't even connect with Fukuoka at all, but we had a good time here and we enjoyed it, and so it's got a fondness in our hearts. And if I was flying into Japan and I was given a choice of what city to fly into, I'd probably fly into Fukuoka. And a lot of people would say, why? Well, because your Fukuoka might be Tokyo, your Fukuoka might be Osaka, and your far north Queensland could be our Fukuoka. But every now and again, you do have to challenge yourself, I think, to do other things. Because if I've learned one thing over the years, is actually going back to places where you've been before is also one of the biggest sources of disappointment in life. And it's also one of the things that makes you miss out on other experiences. So I try to actually not go back too often, although almost everywhere I've been to, I like to go back occasionally just to check it out.
And sometimes you maybe sort of flying somewhere else in Australia and then go up
to
Queensland, do the hard bit first, and then do the easy bit.
But they're comfortable slippers to wear, aren't they? When you've been to a place, they're comfortable slippers to wear. You're in familiar environments, so you've got to sometimes push yourself to try on a new pair of comfortable slippers every now and again, and remarkably, they're always comfortable. And then you end up with a new fondness. So
Benjamin Penny says, sometimes it's not just the place, it's the moment in time as well. Absolutely.
Well, we've talked about this in other, I don't know if it's online, I've talked about it, but I've talked about it with friends. There are some places you go to, and it's actually the people you meet and the place you stay that makes a place wonderful or absolutely awful. I mean, for example, I think Michelle and I probably always remember the first time we arrived in Chiang Mai in Thailand. We stayed in a hotel. We booked a hotel that was reasonably well reviewed. The lady was awful. She was just the worst, most hateful piece of work that I'd come across in a long time. Her hotel was her own hotel. She loved it, but it was awful. It was the worst hotel. There were mosquitoes everywhere. It was dirty, and it really colored the way we saw Chiang Mai. And originally, when we got there, I think both of us felt like this is just a dump. It's just an awful city. It's an awful town. And I remember thinking, I don't want this to be the lasting memory that I have of Chiang Mai. So we actually went to another place. It was actually called the Opium Suites.
That was amazing.
And we had a great time. So we managed to turn that around. Now, actually, when we first arrived in Fukuoka, we were here for a month or so. I think the first few weeks, Michelle hated it. She didn't like it at all. And I said to her, look, just let's, well, I think we booked a month. I said, let's go out and let's do some things. And eventually, after a time, she turned it around. So yeah, even the most beautiful place in the world. Imagine you rock up to far north Queensland, the first person you meet's really rude to you. The hotel you're staying in is cockroach infested. Hell, you know, the street you're on is just not pleasant. There's noise next door and a dog barking. And suddenly you just can't stand the place. But it's nothing to do with far North Queensland. It's literally those simple environmental factors that make you feel that way. So
that's what Ben says. Every time I've been to far North Queensland, it's been a different experience. I went further north each time. The experiences I had is what made it so special each time, not the location.
Yeah, it's the people. It's the people.
People always ask us what's our favourite place that we visited, and it always comes down to, it's hard to put an actual, to actually pinpoint a favourite place, but it always comes down to the moments, isn't it? Experiences rather than the actual place. People,
I think also. People predominantly, I mean, nobody is going to go to Paris for the Eiffel Tower. Nobody is going to go to Paris for the Eiffel Tower. Nobody is going to go to San Francisco for the Golden Gate Bridge. Nobody is going to go to Rome to see, you know, is it the Parthenon in Rome? Colosseum. Nobody's going to, I think people, look, I might correct that. People think they're going to Paris for the Eiffel Tower or London for Big Ben. I remember a lady once we met who'd paid an absolute fortune to go to Paris with her children to the Eiffel Tower, and it was on her bucket list of about 3 places she wanted to go, I think, and she had an awful time. She said it was horrible, and it wasn't the fact that there's anything wrong with the Eiffel Tower. There's nothing wrong with it, but it was the, you know, she queued about sort of 6 hours in a queue to get up there, and it was just a massive disappointment. So your best holidays and your best experiences are not physical buildings. I don't think anyone's going to say, oh, the best experience I had was in Egypt because of the pyramids. Yeah. I think you're going to remember the time that you spent with the taxi driver or the guide or the guy that was talking to you. Everything I can remember about India that's a highlight of my Indian experience, and we spent many months in India and South India, every single highlight is a person or an interaction. Yeah.
So Ben says, lol, I'm pretty certain more foreigners have gone to see Buckingham Palace than Brits have, for example.
Yeah, I've seen Buckingham Palace. It means nothing to me at all. It means less than nothing to me. It's almost a negative, net negative, because I think when you look at some of these places, all you think is, your mind just sort of goes, how do these people have such privilege? And that's a negative feeling. So that's all you get from it. There's no positivity that's got, unless you happen to rock up to Buckingham Palace and there's a really fun guy next to you, or a lady next to you, or a family, or a group of people, and you have a phenomenal interaction. There's the experience. Even the Coromandel Peninsula, which I mentioned earlier, was all about the family that we met there. Absolutely. The lady that had the Manuka honey farm, and the Evans family that
all the people that we met. Amazing.
So, were there any other questions from your list?
Oh, I've still got some from my list.
Unless there's some.
No, there's no more in there yet. You can put them in, and you will get priority over my list. What are the tourist traps to avoid?
I think the tourist traps to avoid, and I think Mona's talking about Japan. I think that the tourist traps to avoid are Downtonbury. I think they're these the famous place. Okay, don't ask AI, but maybe say to Google, what are the top 5 things to see in Osaka? They're the 5 things to avoid. What are the top 5 things to see in Tokyo? They're the 5 things to avoid. And literally cross the road to get away from them. They're always going to be overpriced, jaded shopkeepers who are sick and tired of seeing tourists.
Food is generally not.
Food is going to be the lowest quality poorest handled. I mean, I've seen so many YouTubers now going through these sort of central markets in Japan, eating all these sort of like little sort of mochi balls and things, and I've had them. We've had that stuff, and it's always the worst quality. It's always the worst quality. It's always the stuff that's laid out in the street. There's people sneezing and sniffing over it and sort of fondling through it. So yeah, if you need to know the worst things to see in any part of the world, ask what the top 5 things to see in that part of the world are, and that probably tell you where not to go. That's just my opinion, by the way. It means nothing more than it resonates with me.
So Benjamin Penny said there's actually a term, Paris syndrome, for the disappointment Japanese and Chinese travellers have when going to Paris because it fails to live up to expectations so spectacularly.
Okay, well, that makes sense. People who haven't travelled a lot often ask me where to go, and I always sort of say never go to London, Paris, Rome, Sydney.
We always have the best experiences when we get into the little places, even here when we've been in the smallest of places, haven't we? We've had some great times.
Yes, let's say you've saved all your holiday leave, you've saved all your money, and you've got say a lot of people only take maybe 5 big holidays in their lifetime, and each time you save up for that big experience, and sadly all that money tends to go to places like London and Paris syndrome, did they call it?
Paris syndrome, yes.
Yeah. So if you took that money, say a trip to let's go, for example, trip to Paris costs you $5,000, for example. Michelle and I could probably do it for $500, but most people, trip to Paris is going to cost you $5,000, and you're going to get whatever experiences. Google top 5 things to do in Paris, least pleasant experiences, in my opinion. You could probably plan that same holiday and go to Popoutier, not Popoutier. As I can't even think of an example, a smaller city in like Flers, for example, in Western France. You could go to a smaller city. You could take that 5,000, cut it in half, and then take 2,000 off of it, and you could probably have the same holiday. Yeah, that comes out of $500. I know. You could probably have the same holiday for a fraction of the cost and have better experiences, in my opinion. Anyway, I'm not a sage or knowledgeable on this stuff. I know a lot about traveling because Michelle and I have traveled all of our lives, but it doesn't make us any better at traveling than the next person.
Ben said that's good advice. Though whatever's in the top 5 or 10 is probably what you need to avoid.
Yeah.
I don't know why people do it.
Yeah.
So Benjamin Perry says, if not far north Queensland, can you drop any hints about where you might go next?
Where we might go next is already written in stone, and probably, which is rare for Michelle and I, but then it's only a few weeks away, so we're kind of planning it. We want to go to work off some of the noodles and ramen that we've eaten in Japan, so we're probably going to go hiking in Jeju. Yep. That's the idea.
I think so.
I'll talk a little bit more about that in the sort of members live stream that I'll do, because I don't want to go into too much detail just publicly. I know many of you watching are all friends, but I might keep some things back.
Again, says Jeju Island again. Nice. Those videos there were great. From there were great.
Well, Jeju for us was something it was a bit like this experience. I don't know if you remember. It was a bit like this experience here. We arrived in Jeju when it was like 7,000 degrees centigrade. It was like, it was the hottest time of year. It was belting hot. We tried so hard to do but it was so hot. It was like you were getting burnt. Everyone was saying to us, you can't do it this time of year, guys. Why are you here? all the locals were saying you can't walk Jeju this time of year, and we thought, oh, we tried, and we did, I think, 3 sections. Yeah, we did 3 sections of the hike.
They said you've got to come in October.
Yeah, so we're going to give it another try and see if we can make it a better experience and get fit. So we're going to get fit because the next place after that will probably be more food. So I'm the proverbial yo-yo traveler.
But no, that's all planned out well.
Yeah, as planned as we can make it. Could change.
Yeah, for sure. For sure.
So many places I'd like to go at the moment, and so limited time to do everything. So some of them will be repeats of places we've been before because we want to go and visit them again. Oh, anyway, I'm getting very dry.
So Ben said one of the videos you made was early in the morning when it was overcast. The views were very nice. Jeju. I mean, Jeju is beautiful.
Beautiful. It's beautiful.
And we did see some great things, but it was hot.
It's going to be a great adventure. It's going to be a great adventure. I think you're going to enjoy it. We are going to try and be more disciplined. I keep saying it, not film too much. Jeju Island has, I think if I remember rightly, Michelle, I can't bleep stuff out. It's got like the male member beginning with P amusement park.
Yes. Yeah, apparently.
So
you never visited last time.
No, Michelle wanted to go there. She said, "Oh, we've got to go to the Dick amusement park, Stephen." I said, she didn't. Michelle, the last thing on Michelle's mind was going there. But I thought it'd be fun to go, so maybe we'll go and see that.
You'll film excessively, don't worry, lol, says Ben.
I know. It's stupid, really. And Ben, look, we've
Ben, amusement park.
Yeah. So are the videos from here okay? Are we hitting I mean, I don't know how we can ever massage the views back up to the old Steve Kitchen time. I know people say go back and do cooking. I'm not that bothered. I'm happy with the views that we have and the people that follow us. But are the videos okay? What was that?
Yeah, so Ben says you'll hit 1 million views in no time at all at the amusement park.
Yeah, maybe. No. I wouldn't want to, Ben. It's the chocolate cake scenario that I talk about. Imagine you go to like a penis amusement park and you get 1 million views, right? What use?
Yeah,
it's absolutely zero use. That means the only thing you can do is go to that sort of amusement park for the rest of your life to get views. It's just like not worth it. No. It's not worth it. You have to be consistently, crap at what you do to get a sort of steady following. Otherwise, it's like I say, it's like I've always said to friends of mine, you make one chocolate cake video, everybody loves it, and now you feel all you can do is chocolate cake, and it's not a world I want to live in. So, are we getting? It's probably been going a little while. Yeah. Probably should be thinking of
the hour,
coming to an end. So, any more questions in your list?
Lots in my list.
Oh.
So when are you going to Jeju? Ben has asked.
I'll announce that. I'll announce that later, Ben, because we haven't actually planned the dates yet. But it'll be within the next few weeks, I would imagine.
But there'll still be a few Japanese.
There's a lot of. We've got the whole of the drive down from the north to the south to. We've edited quite a few here in this hotel, so they're starting to go up. Yeah. Any other lurkers? Any people in that haven't said hello? Please come in and say hello. I know you're watching. Just say hello so we can.
Yeah, and hit the thumbs up and the little hearts button.
Yeah.
So woohoo, says Ben, please do a live when you first arrive in Jeju. Yeah, we will do lives, won't we? I mean, they get thrown in sporadically.
I got a feeling, Ben, I got a feeling Jeju and Korea was a tricky one for internet on and off, a little bit like Japan has been, but we'll see.
Yeah.
Obviously, hotels and things will be fine.
Yeah. Yeah, do it walking around.
Yeah.
We did a good live stream in the Korean barbecue place, didn't we?
Oh, that I'm looking for. Oh, not more food.
No, but that's healthy.
Yeah. I can remember exactly where that place was. I hope it's still there in business and trading. We go down and have. That's one of the first things I like to do. Go and have Korean barbecue.
Yeah.
Be cool.
Yeah, been looking forward to that.
Yeah. Oh, I wonder if the staff remember us. We used to go there quite often, didn't we?
Go there a few times.
Oh, look, they're back. We always get, and we always go to the places where the tourists don't go. You know, so these are like little townships, little areas.
That's why they remember us.
They're like, oh.
Don't know what we're doing.
There was never another, European style face in these places. Never. And they treated us with such kindness as they do here in Japan. You know, the people are always super sweet here in Japan.
Ben says, yes, the Korean barbecue live, I remember it. Benjamin says, I was caught out in the sun several times in Japan and I didn't get sunburn, not peeling. Did you find the same thing? The sun's not as harsh as in Australia.
Possibly. Yeah. I mean, I'm not really getting, we've been in the sun a lot, obviously, because we've been, pretty much on the road for 6 weeks or so now.
We're quite aware of it though. We don't sort of go out.
So yeah, I people always get angry with me. So anyway, life, I'm not 20 anymore, so I'm not really bothered. But I'd never wear any sun cream in Australia. I've never worn sun cream. And I'm not getting burnt. So yes, I don't know if that's a thing. But then again, we don't sit in the sun. We don't go and sit deliberately in the sun. But no, maybe the sun is less harsh here on the northern hemisphere. Maybe.
I don't know. So we're not ones for sitting in the sun. But if we can find some shade or park in some shade, we will.
I don't believe it was Ben written there.
Wait, Stephen isn't 21. Talking about sun cream.
When I look at my videos for 6-7 years ago, I think, oh God, we're all aging, aren't we? It's like life marches on, but hey ho.
As long as you're happy,
it doesn't matter.
So Ben suggests, I don't use sun cream in Barbados. I'm not in the sun too long to get sunburn. That's the thing, isn't it? If you don't sit and bake, you can feel when you're starting to.
Yeah, I mean, I've got sunburnt many a times, but I mean, so I'm not a big fan of sun cream. No. I'm not advocating anything or
cover up a bit, wear a hat. Slip slap slop. I know.
neither of the three do I adhere to. But anyway. But Japan for Michelle and I has been a great experience again. I really, I think I highly recommend coming here. It hasn't let us down.
No, we came to do what we wanted to do. We wanted to go and tour around and visit the more local rural Japan and not just the big cities.
Yeah, and we don't film everything, contrary to what it might seem like. I mean, we're trying to get up 3 videos a week. You'd be surprised how much work that is, getting up 3 videos a week. It's a lot of work. We went yesterday for ramen in a little local place. It was a delicious. Didn't film it.
No. Might get a few snippets of it, but that's about
it. We generally don't. Actually, for the day before, we found a little ramen that was not far from this hotel. I've got to be honest. So I'll be blatantly honest, because I always tell it as it is. It was disgusting. It was so bad. It was so bad. For hours afterwards, I had this horrible taste in my mouth of sort of like sewage. It was like the worst ramen. So bad ramen exists. I mean, this place, and yet yesterday we went to a place that was super cheap. I mean, we're talking under 500 yen.
Yes.
Which is about $4, I think, US. Maybe somebody can do the conversion for us. For a bowl of ramen with loads of pork, and it was delicious. The broth was delicious. Everything about it was good.
Very good.
And that's unusual. Is that all blues? Is that Ben?
Yeah, Ben's had a little sort of, he's doing a lot of, well, not one-worders, but he says, I usually avoid the sun when the UV is high, better than having to put on expensive sun cream. After 4 p.m. is usually fine here.
Right.
So
I'll one better that, Ben.
He says, just spamming lots of lol. And he's also told us it's $3.41 USD,
wow.
$5.11 Australian,
Wow.
and $6.82 Barbadian dollars, whatever they have. BBD.
3 something? That's ever so good value.
Yeah, under 350. I mean,
big bowl of ramen,
under 500.
6 slices of pork on top.
Yeah.
Very rich broth.
Delicious.
Really delicious. Oishi, delicious. I won't say where it is because I can't remember. It's not that important.
Can you remember?
I was going to one up you there, Ben, because I don't even know what the UV index is, and I've never looked it up. I have no idea. It's like, if to say to somebody what's the UV index to me is a bit like saying what's the gargantuan leptidicium. You know, I don't know. It means nothing to me.
The sun cream industry is all a farce anyway.
It's not. No. There's been
a big hoo-ha about that, about how they've been putting the high ratings on it and they're not being high rating.
Oh, look, I knew from when I was a teenage boy that anything above factor 20 made no difference anyway. But let's not go there. I don't want to discourage the use of sun cream.
No,
I'm not interested. No, you shouldn't use it. See, we got error. What's that saying?
Don't know, error.
Oh, so just a YouTube error. No, I don't think you should use it or shouldn't use it. I have no opinion on it whatsoever. I have no opinion on it either way. Most things in life, it's a choice for everybody to do as they wish, and I certainly wouldn't for almost everything in life. I don't think you should be ridiculed or otherwise for whatever you do. I choose not to take much attention. Bear in mind, we haven't watched television for probably, and I mean your mainstream TV shows, whether they be soap operas or news stuff. I haven't watched that stuff for, I'm going to say 30 years or more. So I'm a very peculiar fish in so much as if I'm in a room where there's a television on showing adverts trying to sell me sort of bum cream, I will move out of that room. I don't want to be influenced by that. I don't want, and people say, I have several people say to me, it doesn't influence me. It doesn't influence me. I say, it does influence you. It does influence you, whether you think it does or not. So, yeah, I've got no, I think the word that you mentioned earlier, the UV scale or whatever, Ben, index, I think that didn't exist when I was younger, so I think the words were only spewed from the mouths of people in probably the late 90s, maybe early noughties, and so I haven't heard them. I just haven't heard them because I don't get information from those people, so it doesn't mean anything to me. I don't know what the numbers are. If you said to me it was the UV factor was 62,000, I go, oh, right, okay. Or if you said to me it was like 12, I'd also be like, yeah, okay, or whatever. So anyway, I'm talking too much. It annoys people. All right. Any last questions?
Japanese yen to Australian dollar.
It is.
Exchange rates never change.
For us, if it's 100 yen, it's a buck.
Yeah.
It's about easy, so it's kind of easy.
A lot of maths involved in this one.
So I think actually the ramen yesterday with all the extra pork on it was to exactly 480 yen. Yeah. And that's good value. All right, so I am going to do a little short live stream after this, just out of respect, because I promised to. I'm sorry. I apologize if you're not doing the membership thing, and I don't urge you to do it. Won't be that important. But I promise I'll do it. So love to you all. Take care. And from Michelle and I in Fukuoka, with just about another week or two left on this Japanese tour. Take care. And if you're watching this later on, comment down below, because we will be reading them. I want to know what you have to say, whether you're enjoying the series. Be good.
Some questions.
We haven't got that thing on. No.
No.
All right.
Okay.
See you later.
Bye.
Oh, it came up.